Hey everyone, this is Paul Gale from paulgalenetwork.com, and thank you for joining me today for video game news. It is April 27th, 2021, and these are the top stories of the day. To kick things off, something unexpected and cool came to us from Nintendo on their Twitter and other social media platforms. Keep the Party Going, a free update to Super Mario Party adds online play to the board game mode, 70 minigames, and the 2 vs 2 partner party mode, available now. Let's check out the little trailer. Pretty cool, pretty welcomed, pretty significant, pretty unexpected. You know, the game is a couple of years old, and a lot of us have been hoping for an update of some sort, whether it was downloadable content, more boards, or just a big, robust online mode added, both. Something else entirely, but hey, here we go. The game has sold very well. It will be interesting to see if sales continue to go in the same path that they were going, which has been very smooth, very solid for a couple of years now. It's been one of Nintendo's most successful evergreen titles on the Nintendo Switch, or will things spike up? If I had to predict, I would say things are going to get up higher than they were in the past several months, because now there's that much more incentive to buying it, because some people might have been on the fence and now they're like, well, we're also getting an online game in this? Oh, that's more compelling. Let's do it. I personally think Super Mario Party is great. I wouldn't mind them adding some more boards, some more games. Make it free DLC for a little bit, paid DLC for more, and I think that would be pretty cool. But an online update this huge is definitely awesome. So let me know what you think of it, and are you going to go back in and play for the first time in a while, or would you consider buying it at this point since you've been holding it off? Let me know. Moving on, some Nintendo Switch news related. Capcom announced today, and it fit just exactly with my April 25th expected date, I should say. And that's with Monster Hunter Rise hitting 6 million. I figured that following April 25th's Sunday, after Famitsu sales were tallied up for the week, after United States, Europe, Australia, etc. sales were tallied up for the week, following on Monday, which it's Tuesday, so I was pretty close, Capcom would say Monster Hunter Rise sold 6 million copies worldwide, and sure enough it did, commemorating the achievement of 6 million Monster Hunter Rise worldwide item pack as a thank you memorial. Now, I didn't know if they would, make a big deal out of the 6 million mark or not, but I'm glad that they did, because this proves, hey, I was right with the 25th. That's really impressive. And not only is it impressive with, how short of a time this game has been out, right, for just a month, but this is now just 300,000 copies sold shy of surpassing Street Fighter II on the Super Nintendo, becoming Capcom's best-selling single-platform title in their history. This means that you look at all of the games that Capcom has released over the years that have just been for a single platform, okay? Not multi-console releases such as Monster Hunter World, which came out on PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One, but single title SKUs. Street Fighter II Turbo for Super Nintendo, Street Fighter II for Super Nintendo, Street Fighter II Champion Edition for Sega Genesis, Mega Man 2 for NES. Single releases, not later on having, multiple ports down the road, because eventually everything has kind of become, released on multiple devices and so forth. But for now, provided that there's no PC launch imminent, this is pretty impressive. This is past Street Fighter V, it's past Resident Evil 4, on its initial original Nintendo GameCube run, and it's now just shy a couple 100,000, like I said, 300,000 away from topping Super Nintendo's Street Fighter II record. And then, how much farther can it go? Can it pass Monster Hunter World on the PS4 version? Can it pass Monster Hunter World for all three? That's going to be a lot tougher because, Monster Hunter World was something that was released on, like I said, three main platforms. Maybe if the rumors are true and Monster Hunter Rise does come to PC a year after release, depending on if the hype is still there around Rise, maybe the combination of Nintendo Switch and PC could potentially top World, but that's neither here nor there for now. Let's just celebrate, congratulate Capcom on hitting 6 million. Very impressive, well deserved. Next up on the PlayStation side of things, we have a tweet from Insomniac Games, which is awesome. Shh, did you hear? There's a Ratchet PS5 State of Play happening on Thursday, April 29th at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will definitely be tuning into this. I covered the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart 1 minute 41 second or so trailer the other day. I thought it looked fantastic. I'm really looking forward to the game, and I will be either doing a live reaction video streaming as it happens, or a live reaction video but put up shortly after. So stay tuned for that. I'm looking forward to the game. Let me know if you are looking forward to Ratchet and Clank. And finally, a rumor, but it's a doozy if true. Supposedly, NetherRealm Studios might be developing a Marvel-based fighting game. This would be huge if true, because traditionally, NetherRealm Studios has worked on Mortal Kombat. You look at Warner Brothers, you look at the relationship that the Mortal Kombat crew has with the DC properties, and we've had things like DC Universe versus Mortal Kombat in the past, Injustice 2. Of course, within the last decade, you've had Mortal Kombat, the reboot, which was 9, basically, 10, and then now 11. So if they switched gears and did a Marvel game, first of all, it would play and look very different than what we're used to seeing in a Marvel-based fighting game, because Capcom has traditionally done those, right? All the way back with, X-Men versus Street Fighter, Children of the Atom, Marvel superheroes, Marvel versus Capcom 1, 2, 3, Infinite. To see NetherRealm take on that property would be pretty exciting. Would it play like Injustice? Would it play like Mortal Kombat? Those two games are comparable in their feel. I hope that the animations would be tight, fast. I hope that the jumping mechanics would be more refined and a little bit exaggerated, because the Marvel superheroes are all pretty much super powered up characters, so they should be bigger and should be more expressive. I guess you could say the same in terms of combat in general for Mortal Kombat characters and Injustice, but now perhaps with more horsepower, the vision could be realized more. They could get more dynamic animations with jumps and flips and controls. I would like to see this game happen, if true, and the potential for some type of, this would be kind of a stretch, but the potential for some type of crossover, if it were to happen, between Marvel and DC characters in one game would be wild. I think the way that the video game industry is working, and for that matter, probably film to an extent and comic books and stuff, I think it's only a matter of time where we will one day see, a pure, real crossover between Marvel and DC in a video game, in a fighting game, in movies, in some type of large cinematic storytelling event. The right people will get together, the right minds will talk, and they'll find a way to make it happen, and it will be awesome. Hopefully, I'm excited for that day. Could we see something like that here happen? Maybe, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's a rumor for now, but too exciting to not talk about, to not share. Let me know what you think. Would you be down with a Marvel-based fighting game by NetherRealm Studios? I would, if it was handled well, so here's hoping that if it happens, it's handled well. Alright, that's going to do it today for Video Game News with PGN. Thank you for watching. It's been fun talking. Short in terms of content, but some quality stuff in there. Let me know what you thought of any of today's topics, whether it's Monster Hunter Rise and, are you part of the 6 million or are you planning on getting the game next? Oh, and one last thing. No slide in particular to shift to since we're already on Mortal Kombat, but I did want to touch on the Mortal Kombat movie. I did watch it. I saw it on HBO Max, its debut day last Friday, and overall I liked it. I didn't think it was amazing, fantastic. I didn't think it was horrible. I give it a good score. Some moments of it were definitely great. Some moments were kind of fair or okay, but it started off really strong. It ended really strong. It had a pretty decent flow. Character costume designs and representations were nice. It being an original story and kind of a spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1, prequel, if you will, to the Mortal Kombat tournament itself was fine. It was handled well, being an original story, but also something that's paying, pretty much a faithful respect to the source material, taking all things into consideration, special effects, getting the characters right with their lines, throwing in some classic nods to the franchise, saying, iconic words, the movie being brutal, violent, gory, moves and all those things, very dynamic, good fight choreography. More of the movie was good or a lot of fun than it was, a little slow or a little unfulfilling or tedious. You know what I mean? Like, it only had a few of those moments of not being all that good. It had more of those positive experiences. So a 7 out of 10 feels fair to me. It was good. Let me know if you saw the movie and what did you think. So I'm hopeful, and I will say this. I'm hopeful that the movie does well, which it did, over 20 million in the US opening market, and worldwide seems to be doing fine so far. But I'm hoping it does really well because I think there's potential, if this movie does well enough for Warner Brothers on HBO Max, in theaters, etc., around the world, United States, you name it. There are 4 more films planned. I think this movie retroactively can become even better if its sequel is great, because then you look at it as a kind of a whole of, okay, this was the plot building and this was the character development that they had in this one that kind of sets the stage up for the second one. The second one could focus more on certain other characters, a little bit more backstory, wrap them together, get into the tournament, and then now you're looking at a 2-film experience saying, okay, this is a cohesive project. And then seeing what they do with, movies 3, 4, and 5, potentially. So I would give it that, Would I raise the score of it? Maybe, maybe not. But if they give us 2 movies and the second one builds up on it, like I said, in a way, it'll make the experience more grand if it is a better movie. At least be as good, but aim for being better, right? Okay, now that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks for watching. PGN signing out. Hope you all have a good one. Take it easy. Bye.